It's November 3rd. It's also like hecka fall around me. It's beautiful. Anyways, it's the day that Sarah and Rachel are trying to do a 10K in a day. I'm kind of I'm not doing 10K in a day for obvious reasons. I'm not really writing this November. We've covered that. But I'm gonna try to participate as much as possible. I'm actually on my way to a job interview right now, so I'm a little busy today. But after this, I do plan on writing as much as possible and just kind of like sprinting my way through it for a while. I do want to finish the chapter I'm on. It's the one that's been giving me a lot of trouble lately, but I actually made some good progress on it yesterday and I think I know where it's going. So, you know, we'll see how the day goes and I'll get back to you later. Okay, I kind of figured I should actually talk about what I'm writing because most people know I'm writing a novel, but most people don't know what it's about, and that's somewhat intentional, but you know. Basically it's a fantasy novel, and I don't really, explaining a fantasy novel is so hard, okay? But basically it follows the storyline of this girl named Ryan and her best friend Shay, who is a guy. I get so much critique for their names, but I named them when I was in 8th grade, and yes, I know they sound like the opposite genders. It's a rough time. That being said, basically the general idea of the story is that Ryan is a mortal who gets kidnapped and brought to the fantasy realm and used as a plot and like used as a pawn in a war she knows nothing about. And there's a lot that goes into this, between kind of gaslighting her and her kind of believing she's going insane and things around her changing, like people's memories and what they know. Her best friend goes missing. There's a lot that goes into that. I don't want to talk too much about it. You'll have to read it. No. I don't like the full idea being out there. It stresses me out a bit, but that's the general idea. I wrote the first draft of it when I was in 8th grade. I kind of thought up the idea between 6th and 7th grade during that summer and wrote it for the first time in NaNoVlogMo of 8th grade. I think that was 2012. And I pretty much write it every NaNoVlogMo, and every NaNoVlogMo I kind of rewrite the draft or add to it. And this last draft that I've written is like incredibly different from the original idea, but I think it's better for that. And one of the reasons that I'm having a lot of trouble writing right now is because I'm trying to find a way to, like, I went too far with the last rewrite where I changed it a lot, and I'm trying to kind of restore parts of it, but because parts of it have changed, it's hard to find that in between where I tie the ideas together in a way that's coherent and makes sense and is also well written, and that's always a struggle. But that's kind of my plan. It's 1 p.m. now. I just got back from that job interview. I think it went decently well. I don't know. I'm not very good at interviews, but yeah, so I'm gonna get back to writing. Christina just went to buy me a coffee because she's great and I love her. So I'm gonna get to work. Okay, I'm dumb. I originally came up with the idea between 7th and 8th grade. I got that wrong because apparently I don't know how to speak. Secondly, I listened through that again, and it's really funny because you can hear all of the wind just howling in the background. When I tell people that UConn is windy, they don't always believe me. But if you listen, you can tell. That, and I wanted to say that I recorded myself writing a little bit yesterday. I didn't vlog yesterday, but did record myself writing just to kind of see if my facial expressions have like follow what I'm writing. Like if I'm writing something sad, whether I look sad. Turns out I do, which I think is funny. But there was this part where I was writing yesterday, and apparently I shocked myself. I don't know how. You'll just have to watch it, so I'm going to throw that in. And then I'm also going to throw in some pretty scenes of fall, because UConn's really pretty right now, and yeah. So enjoy that. I'm actually going to go write. I'm so mad, and I'm also so dumb because I was rewriting the chapter that's been giving me issues, and I wrote the second half of it first because it was like significantly easier to write, and then I wrote the first half, and then I was like, sick, I finished it, and then I went and reread it, and I realized that I wrote the first half of the chapter to be dependent on events that happened in the second half of the chapter, so that the first half of the chapter technically took place after the second half of the chapter, but it was like imperative for the first half of the chapter to happen so the second half of the chapter could happen. And it was a mess, and I have to rewrite it again, and I'm doing great. Love writing, love NaNoVlogMo, love being sleep deprived. So now I have to go fix that, and we're doing great. It's 11:40 p.m. and I'm just gonna write and probably not actually write and just watch YouTube because I'm great at doing stuff. I'm gonna edit this and then maybe be productive. Good night.